What's up, everybody? Soul here with another Sword of Convallaria video, and today we're going to go over a tier list for each character based on how fun they are. That's right, we're not going to mess with anything else. We're strictly and simply going to discuss how fun each character is to use versus their usefulness and or what they can do to further your gameplay in the game. So, we all know all things aren't created equal. Some characters might be incredibly useful, but they're not fun to play. And that matters to me. And so I'm going to share my opinions, give you some insight on what I think for each specific character, going over them and breaking them down, hopefully rather quickly, as I put them on a tier list. This tier list will be broken up into 7 tiers, starting at tier 0 being the best and tier 5 being the worst. Tier 0 are characters that I enjoy the most and will actively seek to use anytime I can. Tier 0.5 are characters I enjoy, but don't try to use all the time. Tier 1 are characters that I like and have fun with when it is convenient. Tier 2 are characters that are mid or I lack experience with, and so I can't rate them based on fun accurately. Tier 3 are characters that aren't great to use and I don't necessarily enjoy. Tier 4 are characters that I only use if they'll fit a specific strategy. And then Tier 5 are characters that I don't enjoy using at all and I will avoid if possible. For a tier list that goes over each character's power and usefulness and gives an accurate rating of what their kit includes and what they can do to impact your gameplay, make sure you check out my other tier list. For that, I'll have that link up on the screen right here. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Up first on this tier list is our boy Acambe. He is a mage type summoner that creates lots of assassins to do pretty decent work, and so he is able to manipulate and move things around on the field. He has a lot of utility in that way, and honestly, Acambe is somebody that I thought would be a ton of fun to play and use, but I feel like his power is kind of lackluster. And so even when I am using him and I'm moving opponents around and I've got lots of assassins up, I get punished when those assassins get killed, and it takes away from my ability to enjoy using him. He ends up being neck deep in cooldowns, and his ability to keep assassins out and up at all times is hindered on this, and I've done everything I can to work around it. And so for that reason, unfortunately, Acambe has a gameplay mechanic that really should be fun and could be fun, but I find that he's mid at best, so I put him tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next is Afra. Afra is a fantastic unit. She goes in, she's pretty hardy. I like to build her tanky, send her into the fray with her deer form, dashing in, doing a little bit AoE damage and then some AoE heals, getting those, of course, dream labyrinths on those enemies, doing additional damage while healing the team. I love a healer that can come in, do a job, and mess up the enemy as well, and she really does that in a big way. Not only is she debuffing, she's also hindering their ability to affect your team, and so while healing and doing some nice damage with those sleeps and those additional damage from Dream Labyrinth, and then of course those heal procs. She's a ton of fun. She's got lots of AoE in her kit. I enjoy using her, and so this is a fairly complex character with not straightforward gameplay, and I would rank her tier 1 on the fun scale for that reason. Up next is Agata. Agata's a part of the Drifter category or faction, if you will, and I really love that faction overall. She is a phenomenal unit that comes in. She's got dodge in her kit. She's got dash. She does great damage. She wounds. She does piercing damage. You name it. She hits hard. And not only is she hitting hard, she can handle tanking as well as healing your party. She's got so much in her kit that I really have fun playing her, and I can play her lots of different ways. So she is a great character. I am not... her gameplay can be a little straightforward at times once you have the use of it, so maybe her ranking is going to be hurt a little bit because I use her so much, but she's a fun character to use. Overall, I'd rank her tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next is Alexei, and so Alexei is a fantastic unit that comes in. He's got some decent AoE, he can change the tiles of the field, he's got that unlimited resolve where he just stays up and stays up forever, and it feels good and it's fun when it's happening, and so he can be a fairly exciting unit. I'd only just got him on my account recently, and I haven't had the opportunity to utilize him too much, so I'm going to rank Alexei mid as a tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next, after Alexei, is Auguste. Auguste is deemed a must-have unit at one point in the game. Absolutely smashed with him. I've used him in all kinds of content to clear and get things done, and he was absolutely useful. But honestly, not a ton of fun. This is a unit that I never really was excited to play with, and, well, once I got him and started utilizing him, he didn't do anything to win me over. So in the end of the day, he gets a lot of actions, he can hit and hit hard, and it all seems pretty and nice, but it's incredibly straightforward. He's even a little bit squishy, he doesn't have a lot of durability in his kit, and so for that reason, Auguste and his straightforward gameplay is a bit lackluster for me. I rank him tier 3 on the fun scale. After Auguste is Ayishah. Ayishah is a great unit that comes in, a heck of a tank, has good counterattacking, does good AoE damage, you name it. She's got several different ways you can play her, and that makes her versatile and fun for me, and so I've deeply enjoyed using her. Of course, the way I use her as of late has been a bit more straightforward in that she's just counterattacking, but she's got that AoE in her kit as well. Regardless, it's very satisfying gameplay. I like it a lot, and so Ayishah, I would rank fairly high on the tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is Beryl. Beryl is a great unit that I have used since the very beginning of the game. She was one of the first legendaries I got. She has always hit hard. She's always had a lot of things going on in her kit. She was the original energy battery on my team, giving everybody energy and keeping them rolling in our battles and our conflicts, as well as offering some heals and doing some great damage and creating burn tiles. I've always really enjoyed playing Beryl, as her kit is so expansive and has so many different things you can do in it. And then now with her rank 13, she melts opponents and does some really good stuff. Beryl, despite having her all this time over the last year of playing, she has never really gotten boring to play, and she's a ton of fun. I rank her tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next after Beryl is Caris. Caris is the mommy that everybody wants in the game. She slaps hard. She can do a lot of interesting things in the game. She's got really big AoEs that hit really hard and create some really big numbers. She's got some shields. She's got some interesting things in her kit. My gameplay experience with her is slightly limited, but I have had some opportunities to play her a little bit and mess with her. And overall, I find that really she doesn't do a lot for me. She's not a character that I'm really excited to play. I found that her gameplay loop is somewhat straightforward, in my opinion. And so for that reason, I kind of rank Caris fairly low with a tier 3 on the fun scale. After Caris is our girl, Coco. Now, you will hear me say 100 times over that Coco is the best character in the game. I've used her all the time. I absolutely want her in the team all the time because of what she can do for you as far as gameplay and creating advantages. However, playing Coco is honestly not the most exciting thing in the world. She is an absolutely amazing unit that can do a ton of really good things, but her gameplay loop and what she does for your team honestly isn't very exciting. She goes in, she does a job, you're getting your same few things you're casting, and you're going to cast them reliably over and over again. For a healer, she's somewhat good as far as fun, but I honestly consider her mid. So she is a tier 2 on the fun scale. After her, we've got our girl Cole up next, and Cole is a character that absolutely destroys early game content. Some of the best fun I've had in the game is literally just racing through maps, slaughtering opponents, hitting them with big numbers, watching Cole go on her grind and do her thing. Now, when you get towards end game, Cole falls off, in the meta and doesn't have a lot of utility. But to be honest, that's where I've really enjoyed her the most. Cole's her gameplay then shifts into a sincere assassin. You have to be opportunistic and wait for moments to strike your opponents, using her invisibility and relying on her reaction. And I've really enjoyed that a lot. It's forced me to be more creative, more thoughtful, and tactful in my gameplay. And so Cole is a unit that I enjoy using, and I rank her tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is Dantalion. Dantalion is a unit that has a fantastic aura. You'll see me use them in team comps all the time. It's kind of a problem, to be honest with you. But regardless, Dantalion comes in strong, has a lot of things going on in his kit, and is a phenomenal character that honestly doesn't get old. He's got some good range. He's got some decent knockback. He can smack people around. There's not a tremendous amount in his kit that makes him dynamic and super duper fun, but he does feel good to use and does just enough to stay interesting at any given time. He's never gotten stale to me, and so I rank Dantalion a tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next is Edda. Edda is an interesting unit that is highly supportive with those assisting attacks, those wine barrel casting, and creating boxes. She offers a tremendous amount of utility and diversity in the game, and that she impacts the battlefield in so many different ways with the things that she can do. However, honestly, Edda is one character that I have ran through and through over and over again, and honestly, at no given point did I ever say, man, I just absolutely love playing Edda. Edda does a lot of great work, and I never mind having her in the team, but I'm never excited to add her into the team and are looking for ways to fit a team around her. And for that reason, Edda, just like her character design, is painfully average, mid. I rank her tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next is Estra. Estra is one of our newer damage dealers. She is heralded as the highest single target DPS in the game. Something that I absolutely think is accurate. She does a lot of damage. It is a lot of fun to watch those big numbers roll across your screen. However, her gameplay loop is incredibly straightforward. There's not a lot of dynamism to it. You know what you're going to do. You know what your objective is. Get your magical shield up. Do as much damage as you can, deplete your opponent's energy, and watch the numbers roll. That is incredibly boring, and I don't enjoy it at all. And when there's times when I use her, will throw her in there, but otherwise, I'm not too fussed about having her out there. I don't mind it though. So overall, I rank her a tier 3 on the fun scale. Up next is Faycal. Faycal is a unit that you get right away in the game and very easily. He is a unit that can do a lot of debuffing. He has alert abilities. He can do AoE damage. He's got some decent, interesting things going on in his kit. I like to set him up. I like to do all kinds of things with him. You'll see I use him fairly often in team comps as well. And that's because, well, Faycal is a ton of fun. Faycal is a unit that never gets boring for me. He absolutely hits hard, does a good job, but also does it in really interesting ways that really create tactical senses in the game. I just can't say enough good things about Faycal. I use him all the time. He is a character that I would rank tier 0 on the fun scale. Up next is Flavia. Flavia is our green witch that we only got recently. She has so much in her kit. It is crazy. She can do healing, she can do damage, she can do buffing. It is a phenomenal thing. She's got a summon that can move around. She's changing tiles on the field. Flavia is a unit that is painfully average as far as the meta is concerned because she can do everything. She's a jack of all trades, but the master of none. And so she is a great unit that can do a ton of things, but meta-wise, she's not considered a absolute must-have or great for that reason. However, when you're playing her and you're utilizing her and going through her kit and changing it out, there's just no end to it. What you can do, it feels like, and she's a ton of fun for that reason. Flavia, I hold in high regard, and I have a blast playing her. She is tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is Garcia. Garcia is a character that is one of those units that you read and you think, man, this must be great. She's going to slap people around. And then it takes a while to build up, and then it takes a while to get going. However, she's got some things in her kit that a lot of people, I think, overlook, like her ability to execute, that assisted attack, and then she's got the ability to pull opponents towards her, and then the design of her character, the way she laughs hysterically as you're cutting them up, and you're absolutely rolling, hitting those big numbers. She is a lot of fun to play. She really makes the game enjoyable as you're using her. I think she is immensely underrated because of that, because she is so much fun to play. Anytime I can and I get out there and I use her and I slap scenarios up and I destroy battles, you name it, it's always one of my favorite fights. I have a ton of fun using her any and all times that I can. So for that reason, Garcia, in my opinion, is tier 0 on the fun scale. After that, we have Gloria. Gloria is a unit that everybody loves. As far as aesthetic and design, she is a fantastic unit. She is not straightforward in her gameplay. She's got lots of support. She can go in. She's even throwing that banner down, creating some hardship for the opponents as you can zone and control them. And then she's got surprisingly good damage, and she's got AoE damage on top of that. So you have options as far as single target and AoE. Man, Gloria does a ton. And she never gets boring to play, in my opinion. Gloria is a fantastic unit. I rank her tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is our boy Guzman, the Guz Goat. This guy is hilarious. I love the way he's screaming and yelling. He sounds like he is screaming through a bowl of soggy cereal as he's fighting and running around. I love this guy. He cracks me up. But he's got some interesting things in his kit and his ability to come back to life. His great AoEs. You even get taunt now at rank 13. And so that's awesome. And then he's got that ability, of course, to pull enemies towards him. And he's got that magical assist cover. Like, he's a really interesting unit. I've always really enjoyed playing Guzman anytime I can. And with this rank 13, I'm especially excited to play him even more now. I rank him fairly high on the fun scale at tier 0.5. Up next is Hasna. Hasna is a character that doesn't appear like it at first, but she is a sniper, a mage sniper, in my opinion. I like using her. She gets in there, she's debuffing opponents. I like to get in and out and around the teams without ever being touched by them touching her. I'm sorry. It's entertaining, and she slaps and hits hard, and she does it at good range. Mind you, there's not a tremendous amount of versatility to her kit, but at no point does it ever get stale because you're always concerned about her positioning and moving her around correctly with her passive and debuffing opponents, as well as keeping them out of range and not getting hit. And then those satisfying numbers in the end also keep the gameplay loop fresh. So Hasna is a fantastic unit that I think is very underrated, and I rank her tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next is Homa. Homa is a unit that has a lot going on with her kit, where in that she can blind opponents, create some pretty decent dodge, good AoE, good damage, and good heals. She is a fantastic unit that is strong. She's got decent mobility, and she is honestly a lot of fun to use. I've enjoyed using her in and out at different times. You name it. I've relied on her heavily. She's one of the Drifter faction, so I've used her a lot. And for that reason, maybe her gameplay loops got a little bit stale for me, but I really enjoy Homa. I often find myself forgetting Homa, as I almost just forgot her name. But anyways, unfortunately, Homa used to be a ton of fun. She's kind of waned a little bit, but I still think she's a great unit. If she's new to you, you might absolutely love her and have tons of fun with her. And so for that reason, I'd rank her tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next is Iggy. Iggy is a very interesting character that doesn't have a tremendous amount to his kit. I know there's a lot of diehard Iggy fans out there, and I mean you no disrespect. I have very limited experience with Iggy, unfortunately, and for that reason I can't really rank him accurately, though his kit does seem very interesting, and so for that I'm going to rank him tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next is Inanna. Inanna is a unit that heals, creates act again opportunities, and so on for your team. She is a healer through and through, and that act again mechanic is absolutely great. A lot of people find that it's very much pivotal in a lot of scenarios, especially early game. Everybody really want her. She was highly sought after, and yeah, I think Inanna is great as far as what she can do for your gameplay, but man, playing her is not fun for me. I don't really enjoy Inanna. I can't figure out, ways to make her more enjoyable. The active game mechanic, her guard, those kind of things, they're all great, but at no point am I over the moon trying to use her, trying to find ways to put her in the team. And honestly, I would rather avoid her. And so for that reason, Inanna is coming in at tier 5 on the fun scale. Up next is Inanna SP, our newest character in the game as of this recording. This is a character that is absolutely ridiculously powerful, but also has a tremendous amount in her kit that she can do tons of AoE damage, creating an object with that banner, buffing the team, and you're able to get those things out fairly often. With the act again, she's got some more diversity there, and yeah, she's hardy. She's not soft either. She can take damage and deal damage, and at all times it's fun. There's a lot going on there in that she's new, so like I said, she just came out and at the time of this recording, so it might be a little unfair to rank her so highly, but she has been a ton of fun to play. I'm trying to find ways to use her sometimes when it doesn't even make sense, but regardless, she is a great unit. For me, I'd rank her tier 0.5 on the fun scale, and honestly, I'd try to rank her higher if I didn't think I was just enjoying the newness of her so much. Up next is Kiya. Kiya is a character that can absolutely slap and do good single target damage, getting those infection stacks. She is interesting in that she's sacrificing HP to get the damage out, but she also can do a tremendous amount when it comes to debuffing and getting those opponents messed up, as far as, like I said, that infection, but also putting to sleep, and then the heal reversal. There's nothing more satisfying than heal reversing a character and then watching them melt as the other characters or that character tries to heal themselves. It's awesome. And so she's a lot of fun to use. She's got some interesting mechanics in her kit. Can't say enough good about her. I'd rank her fairly high on the fun scale at tier 0.5. After that, we've got our boy Kvare next. This guy is the meta king. This guy comes in and he will melt a map, destroy everything, you name it. But I'm going to be honest with you, although he's got all this utility and can do all these great things, and he's melting whole maps and killing it, he's not fun to play. It's like essentially pressing an I win button. He goes on, his AoE is massive, it slaps up most of the field, and depending on the content that you're playing through, it'll more or less one-shot, two-shot teams and maps. It's not fun. And so for me, I actively try to avoid him. I have worked on him and I will utilize him when possible because of his ability and his power, but I don't want to use him unless I absolutely have to. For that reason, I rank him a tier 5 on the fun scale. Next is Layla. Layla is a unit that is very interesting, has some pretty decent things in the kit. I really like that she clears tiles, she can move the team around and gives decent buffs, and then her alert skill is really fun. I like to see her proc so many attacks. It's really interesting. Layla is a phenomenal unit that can be fairly fun, and for that reason I rank her tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next is Leonide. Leonide is a unit that I don't own, but I have had the ability to utilize a little bit, and he is an interesting unit that is not regarded well by the meta. I do like the charge aspect in some ways, and I like that he's got some interesting things in his kit. I would love to play test it and see more, but I really just don't know a lot about him, and my limited experience with him hasn't been enough to solidify any grounding thoughts, and for that reason I rank him as tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next is LillyWill. LillyWill is a unit that is, well, very straightforward. She goes in, she shoots arrows, and sometimes they're AoE and sometimes they're single target. Past that, she's really not doing anything. You're trying to find high ground, and yeah, that's just about it. LillyWill is a unit that I want to hit hard. Aesthetically, I think she's an appealing character, but as far as her gameplay loop in her kit, it's very underwhelming. And so I like LillyWill. I think she can do good damage and have good utility in the game, but overall, she's not fun to play. I rank her tier 4 on the fun scale. Up next is Lutfi, another character that we just recently got. Lutfi has a lot of really interesting things in his kit. His ability to go in and become decoyed and not be able to hit, but also to move opponents and debuff them and kill them over time is phenomenal. He does seem very strong in that he can totally move whole units on top of them and so on and so forth. But honestly, once you debuff them and you've got him rolling, just the ability to stand in front of an opponent and get in their way and block them and zone and control them, you'll see opponents not even take action, as far as the AI, which is nothing to brag about. But they'll sit there and do nothing and lose whole turns just because they don't have a way to get around him. But yet process he's there. It's really interesting. It's fun. His fire bottle is a ton of fun. I like throwing that bad boy out. Zoning, controlling opponents, burning, you name it. And he's not so overpowered that he's just destroying everything around him. You can get him up to that point. I'm not saying you can't. It's just, he's very satisfying to use. I like Lutfi a lot, and I'll often try to find ways to use him. I rank him tier 0 on the fun scale. Up next, we've got Luvata. Luvata is a character that turns everything ablaze, sets every tile on fire if she can, and man, it is fun. It is satisfying. Not only that, she's got good multi-hits in her kit. She's absolutely massive in her ability to crit and deal damage, and she's got some awesome mobility in her kit where she can literally jump to fire tiles on the map. So much fun, so much versatility, so many things you can do in the game with her, and then the synergies you can create in and around her are awesome, great. This is a unit that I have absolutely fallen in love with, and I try to use all the time anymore. So I rank her tier 0 on the fun scale. Up next is Magnus. Magnus is one of the most underwhelming characters as far as stats and what they can provide is from their kit. However, Magnus has some decent, interesting things that he does that are unique to him. Like his basic attack that's an AoE and hits multiple tiles. And then of course his ability to smack a unit and move them and send them flying and deal damage that way. Really, really cool. I love that he's able to move those units and send them flying, or objects, you name it. It's just really nice. And so Magnus is actually fun to play from time to time, and I enjoy having him as an option. So I rank him tier 1 on the fun scale. Maitha is next on the list, and Maitha is a unit that has been obviously on your team since you got your account, but I've used her since the very beginning of the game, and she's always considered great value Coco, or Walmart Coco as some people will even say. She's a fantastic unit. She can do a lot for gameplay and so on and so forth, but at no point is she really dynamic and fun to the point that I just absolutely really want to have her around. Her knockback mechanics are pretty nice, and she's got a good number of them, but there's so many different ways to knock back opponents anymore. So overall, Maitha is somebody that I forget and don't think of too often. I rank her a tier 3 on the fun scale. Up next is our boy Miguel. Miguel is one of my favorite characters, if not my most favorite character in the game. I have loved him since the very beginning. His knockback is satisfying, his aesthetic is that awesome, and I just love that, like, even when he's close to dying, he'll let out a chuckle and laugh. He is a phenomenal character. He is meant to get down and dirty, take the hits, but also give it back to them. And with his rank 13 ability now, where he's literally setting everything on fire all the time, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. I put Wheel of Fortune on him, or the Terror Whisper, and man, it is unbelievable how many fire tiles I can create with this guy and all the things that he is doing. He is one character that I love to play and will base whole teams around and most of my gameplay around. So I rank him tier 0 on the fun scale. Momo's next on the list. Momo is another character that is very well designed, great as character aesthetic. I love the things that she can do. She's got a lot of things going on in her kit too. She's a very bulky character that can push and pull opponents. She sets up an awesome alert, and then it really punishes those enemies when they try to get in up to her. And then when they get there, she's hardy. She's got that repulsion barrier up. It's just a ton of fun. She's a fantastic character. I'll often try to use her any and all times I can. She's the first legendary I pulled, and it's been love ever since. Momo, I rank tier 0 on the fun scale. Up next is Nergal. Nergal is a interesting character, and he's actually got some decent things in his kit. However, me and Nergal just never really hit it off. I've tried using him multiple times. There was a time where I really ran Hangman's Mark team, and I utilized him quite a bit. At no point did I really ever get excited about his gameplay loop and the way he would play, the things I can do, whether it's his AoE knockback or his ability to switch places with his allies and send out multiple marks, you name it. Nergal, unfortunately, just doesn't hit. He's lackluster, and his character design, he kind of honestly is annoying to me. I don't know. He just didn't do it for me on any front. And so, for that reason, I rank him tier 3 on the fun scale. Up next is LillyWill. This is a character that has a very interesting trait in that Veil and their ability to negate AoE damage. She can go out there and set some pretty decent infection, and set up some pretty decent infections up. And yeah, she's got some good AoE, that vulnerability, you name it. Was initially considered a meta character, and I think she does a very solid job. And I think her gameplay loop is somewhat interesting. I don't think it's overall great. It does get a bit stale. She kind of goes in, does the same few things, and it's not really killing it in any given point. It's just, it is what it is. Go in, vulnerable, AoE, or hit, get out. Nothing too great. So, for me, she's mid. I rank her tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next is Nungal. Nungal is a unit that I was very, very excited to get initially. I couldn't wait to get her. I thought she was going to be a ton of fun. Positioning, you name it. Long range hits, big hits, setting up pretty crazy scenarios. However, her mechanics and her kit unfortunately create too many situations where you have just not enough energy or too much energy, and then you still have to be waiting for those cooldowns and those opportunities to attack. It just feels awkward. Her kit doesn't feel like it's crisp, clean, and well designed, and so for that reason, I really don't ever use her, and I don't even think about her, and I certainly don't go out of my way to use her unless I just absolutely have to, or she fits a strategy. It's very specific to the scenario, and for that reason, she is tier 4 on the fun scale. Up next is Nydia, one of our newer characters in the game as of this recording. She is the AoE queen. She goes in, she sets everything up, hits them hard with that black feather. They're exploding. It's like a Michael Bay film. It's a ton of fun. I really enjoy watching those explosions, watching the ripple effects, and I honestly haven't got bored of it since I got her. I love using her. I'll go out of my way to try to use her. Really fun, great character. Fairly straightforward in her gameplay dynamic, believe it or not, but you can choose whether you just do out and out damage or you're doing damage over time. Regardless, it's still a ton of fun. It hasn't gotten boring to me, and so I rank her very highly at tier 0 on the fun scale. Up next is Pamina. Pamina is a phenomenal unit that is a breaker, but honestly, I enjoy playing her as a tank more. You're not limited to that. You can go in and just do some damage, get in on it, on everything, be aggressive. However, my favorite way to play her is to just go in, get the opponent's attention, let them come over and hit, and watch the strike backs do the work. Regardless, she's got options. She's very interesting, compelling, and fun to play. I enjoy using her often, and so I rank her tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is Rawia. This is a character that You see right away as you load up the game and you jump in, she is part of the original conception of the game. And honestly, I think she was made with great love and care, because this is a unit that not only hits hard, has knockback, has strike back, has some great things in her kit. She's also healing herself and doing everything amazingly along the way. It doesn't get boring. It's a ton of fun. I love using her anytime I can. I know a lot of people will say she's like great value Auguste, but in my opinion, she's better. She's more hardy. She doesn't die as easily as Auguste, and she has the ability to hit just about as hard. And so I absolutely love her. If you build a team comp around her and debuffing the opponents, she slaps even harder and smacks super duper great. It's very appealing. She is a phenomenal character that I rank highly. I put her tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is Rawia SP. This character is an amazing character in design and gameplay. I absolutely love that she can go in, she gets those act agains. Once you get her to rank 5, she just goes bonkers. Every turn you're slapping with an AoE, you're getting that bonus turn, that act again if you will, and you're just going crazy. She's got dodge in her kit. She's got great mobility. She, like I said, does great AoE and debuffs when doing it, and then she hits hard and has great knockback in her kit. This is a character that not only comes in and is very appealing meta-wise, but also comes in and is a ton of fun to play, and you have some true options on how you play her. This is a character that I'm always trying to play and utilize anytime I can. She is arguably one of my favorite characters in the game, if not my favorite, maybe tie between her and Miguel. It's hard to say, but this is a tier 0 character on the fun scale. Up next is Sophia. Sophia, man, she is just aging like wine. She never gets old. This character has been around basically since the beginning of the game and for a year now. And she not only does a job and does it incredibly well, she's very interesting in that she has that dodge that just never ends for that turn, that is. And then she's countering and doing AoE damage, piercing damage of that. She's absolutely busted. This character was made with great care and love, just like Rawia. And man, she is a ton of fun to play. She can summon, switch positions based off her summon, you name it. She's got a lot in her kit and the debuffs and everything else. She's healing herself, great sustain. She can go in and solo maps if you play her right. She's a ton of fun to play. I can't say enough good about her. I have gotten a little bit stale of her gameplay because I've had her for so long and I've used her so much, but I absolutely love her. I could rank her higher and I'm tempted to, but I put her tier 0.5 on the fun scale. After that, we now have Sophia SP. This is a character that is widely regarded as a must-have in the meta. She does some really interesting things in her ability to heal and buff your allies no matter where she's at on the map, and that's really interesting within itself, but it certainly is not fun. However, her ability to create assisted attacks, move her allies, and then buff them, I absolutely love going in. I love getting hits on the enemies and encouraging your allies to hit, and then whatever special effects their basic attacks have, they're applied. It's actually really, really great. And then of course she's got that joint strike where it does all that and then some, and I love it. It's a ton of fun. It makes it really interesting, and then keeping her positioned in that she doesn't always get hit and or targeted by the opponent makes it interesting too. This is a character that I do enjoy playing from time to time, and so I rank her tier 1 on the fun scale. Up next is Samantha. Samantha is a character that is your true blue through and through healer. She's like a white mage. Her special heal is done passively, where she's healing opponents that get hit around her just passively, and then she, heals in her turn. She's got some damage and whatnot, don't get me wrong, but there's not a lot going on with her gameplay loop. It's not very interesting at all, and honestly, this is a character that I don't enjoy playing really at all. So this is a tier 5 character on the fun scale. Up next is Shaq Lulu. Shaq Lulu is a new character that we now are able to access as of the recording of this game, and she honestly has the potential to be a ton of fun. I absolutely love that she would have been our first legendary with Blink, but we didn't get her on time. She would have replaced that recruited assassin for me, who I absolutely love playing as and with. She's got good mobility. She can dash in, decent AoE, setting up infections, you name it. There's a lot in her kit that I'm really excited to check out, see, and play, but I haven't had a tremendous amount of experience utilizing. Anytime I have had her in the game, it's been fairly straightforward, so I want to be cautious and not overrate her and say she's a ton of fun to play without really truly play testing it myself first. And so for that reason, I rank her tier 2 as a mid character. Up next is Simona. Simona is a character that comes in, she's hardy, deals great magical damage, has good AoE, creates ice tiles, can freeze opponents, blah, blah, blah. She does it all. It's awesome. She is a ton of fun. She is low-key OP. I think she's highly underrated. She is a phenomenal character that is, just great. I will play her if and when I can. She's absolutely fun to play any and all times, especially with those AoE knockbacks. You name it. Simona, I rank tier 0.5 on the fun scale. Up next is Tear. Tear is a character that is highly valued by meta. His ability to create energy, heal, and buff your team is absolutely phenomenal, and he's even got some decent debuffs in his kit too. And then he's creating scrolls that he has to walk to getting those knowledge stacks in order to be incredibly useful and to do his job to the fullest. However, I don't enjoy it, especially walking to pick up those scrolls. It's annoying. Having to go out of my way to go get them, to just keep him rolling. It's not interesting. It's not fun. And then when he does play and he's creating those energy and he's giving your team what they need, especially in Clash, I use them all the time in Clash just to keep my advantage and make sure I'm wiping out maps before they can even touch me. It's fantastic as far as utility, but it's not fun. This is a character that I will not use unless I absolutely have to, and I'll actively avoid. I rank him tier 5 on the fun scale. Up next is Tidon. Tidon, however you want to say it. This guy right here, he's got some interesting alert abilities. His kit is really unfortunate. It seems like there's just a lot of confusion in what he does, what he's supposed to do, what he can do, and honestly, I don't know how to make it better for him. Not yet. I'm going to keep testing and messing around with it, but as much as I've played him, at no point did I ever say, man, he's just so much fun. I love him. And for that reason, I rank Tidon a tier 3 on the fun scale. Next is Team Meteor. Team Meteor is the meme team, if you will. They're crazy. Their aesthetic is really weird. I don't quite get it. It's really interesting. You have 3 characters in one, I guess. Whatever. Their knockback ability is pretty through the roof. My gameplay experience with them is limited. I'm really interested. I would like to see what they can do, especially with their ability to be hardy and have all that sustain with their shielding and you name it. So I'm excited to play them, but I haven't had the opportunity to mess with them too much yet. And so I don't want to rate them inaccurately. I'm going to keep them tier 2 on the fun scale. Up next is Tristan. Tristan is a character that if you're a Dragon Ball fan or Dragon Ball Z fan, or really any fighting anime at this point, she comes in, she does a job, and it's like you're watching it, you're living it, you're doing it. She's smacking them. Her little scene where she sends them flying and they explode. She's got great AoE damage. And then, of course, her Unlimited Resolve, where she just, she sets off a nice little AoE, everything explodes, and then she's got that red lightning all around her like she just went Super Saiyan mixed with Kaioken. There's no telling. It's awesome. She's a very pleasing character as far as aesthetic, and is fun for that reason. And her gameplay loop is not stale either. She does some pretty decent stuff, and I enjoy it. I just don't like that you have to all in order to get that. You don't have that consistently. You have to trigger that trait in order to get that. And so that is her big issue. That's where she could be more fun if we could figure out a way, maybe a rank 13 skill down the line. I have no idea. But regardless, we can figure out a way where we can do that more often and have more of that. I don't know. It's fun. It's great. Of course, her being unkillable would just be absolutely broken. But yeah, Tristan for me is a tier 1 on the fun scale. And then up next and last but not least is Xavier. Xavier is the quote-unquote solo carry. I always think that's hilarious. He's got some interesting things in that he can hit hard. He's hyper aggressive. I get it. He's a little frag boy. But his gameplay for me is something I haven't had a tremendous amount of experience with. I've actually played against a ton of them in Clash and you name it. And it's always interesting to see them. But that's just because of that remarkable speed that he has and so on. He's a character that I don't see utilized by others often. And like I said, I haven't used him much. So I can't really say whether he's fun or not with great accuracy. And so I'm not going to. I rank him tier 2 mid on the fun scale. So there it is. There you have it. That is my fun tier list where we discuss how fun a character is and how they can enhance your gameplay in the way that honestly it should be enhanced. The way that we should prioritize the characters that we play. What do you enjoy? It's a game after all. This isn't something you have to do. You're not making a living off this game. You're playing it to have fun. And you should be trying to enjoy it the most that you can. Hopefully my tier list is somewhat accurate and reflective of how you feel and what you think as far as your gameplay and the characters you like to use. Make sure you drop down in the comments. Let me know all about it. Tell me, do you disagree? Do you agree? What's your favorite character to use? I'd really like to see that. I want to know, what is your favorite character? Maybe I'll even track that number and put it down in the future so I can know whose favorite character is what, how many votes, you name it. It'd be really interesting to see that. But with that said, make sure you tell me everything you can about it. I'm highly interested in hearing your feedback. Hopefully my list helps give you some insight as to what characters to go for if you do prioritize fun, or it gives you some courage to try characters that you wouldn't have otherwise because you were afraid to invest in them, you name it. With that all said, I have to give a huge shout out to our Discord member, Senna. Senna has been a part of our community for quite a while and made a fantastic suggestion in that we run this tier list where we talk about the fun of characters instead of the meta or the utility of characters, and I absolutely agree. Thank you for that awesome suggestion, Senna. I deeply appreciate you. With that all said, I have to give a huge shout out to our Patreon members. I deeply appreciate y'all. You guys are the ones that make it possible for me to make the content, to pursue the characters, to have these kind of insights on these characters. So thank you so much for your support. It makes a huge difference in this channel and the content that is being created for our community through this channel. Make sure you check out that Discord link as well, where people like Senna and our Patreon members are all there, conversing, talking about Sword of Convallaria and then some. We'd be absolutely happy to have you within our ranks, talking in our community. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you leave me your feedback. Who's your favorite character? And who do you enjoy playing and why? And who do you maybe not enjoy playing? That'd be interesting to see as well. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye.